Well, good morning and welcome to the Delaware State Forest. We're in Pike County, Pennsylvania at a place called the Lilly Pond picnic area. And it's an overcast 44-degree day, and we're going to be doing some waterfall hunting, looking for a couple of lesser known waterfalls here in the Pocono Mountain region. There's rain in the forecast. It's just starting right now, so I gotta check the weather. I may wait it out for a little bit when I think a band is coming through. But we're gonna explore this area. We're gonna see what we see. It should be about a 2-mile hike down to what I believe are the waterfalls, and we'll explore the area. This wasn't my first intended location today, but things changed, so this was my backup plan. And it should be interesting. It's gonna be wet, it's gonna be muddy, but we're here, so let's do it. Thanks for joining me. I do appreciate you. It's time for an adventure. All right, guys, I'll see you on the trail. We're parked here at the trailhead for the Huckleberry Trail, but before we head down the trail, let's go check out the pond and see if we can get some views of the pond. So I should point out that today is the opening day of trout fishing season here in Pennsylvania, and pretty much every angler in the state is out here today. All right, so we found our trailhead, the Huckleberry Trail. I was a little confused there. I actually parked at a different trailhead, just on the other side of the lake. So no big deal, but we found our mark now and we're heading in. Now we are just above Route 6, and I do hear some traffic noise or some construction noise in the distance, which is a bummer, but I'm trying not to focus on that. I'm looking forward to seeing some waterfalls. Hopefully they have a nice flow. I'm not sure what the water levels are, but it has been raining in eastern Pennsylvania over the last few days. Beautiful little wetland area behind me, and as you can hear, the rain just started up out of nowhere, and just as quickly it might stop, but that's why I'm keeping the rain gear on. And that's the kind of place maybe you'd see a I see beers everywhere. Maybe you'd see a beaver or a bear out in this kind of wetland. But let's continue on as the rain intensifies. So I have no way of knowing for sure, but being that the trail is called the Huckleberry Trail, can we presume that this low brush on either side of the trail is huckleberry? Gonna have to go with that assumption for now. We're dropping down a little bit, as we should, into some valley, and this is where these waterfalls should be located, somewhere down at the bottom of this hill. I love hiking on days like today. There's nobody out on the trails. And these overcast, gloomy kind of days, they really tend to, the greens of the moss and the evergreens and the ferns, it really seems to pop to me. You seem to notice them more. Maybe it's the overall blandness of everything else that when you see a pop of color, it really sticks out. But we've crossed the creek and we're continuing on the Huckleberry, and plenty more to come. It's pretty crazy how I keep checking the weather and we are so close to heavy rain. I mean, just a few miles to the north and the west of us, it's gotta be pouring. And it's forming in a band, and it just keeps going, like just to the west of us. We are gonna get some more though, I can see, but we're getting kind of lucky here. Funny how that works out sometimes. We've reached a bit of a hollow now, and it's pretty good drop off behind us. And out of nowhere, this stone wall of about 30 to 40 feet just appears. And I've been doing a lot of research on these stone walls here in Pennsylvania. Everyone thinks they were built by colonial settlers and were built by Europeans, but there's a lot of increasing evidence that many of these walls were actually built by Native Americans. I'm not saying that's the case here, but it's interesting to find just this random section of wall here in the woods. Old walls everywhere now, to the left and to the right of the trail, and I can definitely hear a waterfall down below us to the left. So at some point we're gonna have to make our way down to water level, and I think it's gonna be like a bushwhack from that point. But yeah, we're above the falls now. I can see them. Looks beautiful down there. Really captured by these walls though. So here we are, just above Sawkill Falls now, as the rain picks up again, and we're going to have to make our way down along this stream somehow, and we're going to try to make a little lollipop loop back to the Huckleberry Trail. But we got to find a way to go, and we got to be careful because it's raining again and it's getting slippery. I think my best bet moving forward is to get over to the other side, which won't be easy. We're going to have to cross somewhere up here. Let's see if we can. I've made it across, and we're now beginning our hike downstream along the Sawkill. All the traffic noise is being flooded out by the sound of the water, which is nice. Now let's see if we can get to this main falls. Beautiful little stand of white pine here too. We're now standing above Sawkill Falls, and it's a much wider waterfall than what I expected. Two main channels with a bit of a, like almost like a dry land rock outcropping in the middle. Looks like it drops a good 30, 40 feet. Very, very steep but very, very faint footpath here. Just taking my time. Good thing I have my walking stick with me. But we're gradually making our way to the base of this spectacular waterfall here in scenic Pennsylvania. So the Huckleberry Trail is a nice enough trail on its own. It had those nice wetlands and water crossings, but it was pretty easy going. And then now we're on this bushwhack part of the hike, and it's just become really, really awesome. The day didn't start out too well for me. The first destination I wanted to go to, surprisingly, was closed. And then I parked at the wrong trailhead, and I seen all the people fishing, and I was getting real bummed out. Then I was hearing the traffic noise on the trail, and but you know, sometimes those things happen. That's life, and you just gotta keep going. And we've been rewarded now with this beautiful waterfall and scenic setting here in scenic Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania perfect. So we're gonna make our way somehow along the creek here. Eventually we're gonna have to cross back over, but there is a second waterfall, Savantine Falls. I don't think it's as big as this one, but there is another waterfall up ahead that we're headed to now. I'm below the waterfall, but I'm kind of like in the middle of the creek, basically. Not the main channel, but where it would run under really high water. So I gotta get back off of this, see if I can pick up that faint footpath and try to navigate through here. Very swampy, very difficult terrain, but still worth it. I'm gonna have to figure out, like I said, a way across, and then I'm gonna take a nice break because I'm starting to feel fatigued. It's now about 10:15. Started this day at 5 o'clock in the morning and been hiking for about 2.5 hours. There is an old dead hemlock across the stream, but I don't have my micro spikes and that's probably very slippery. So I found another tree going across the stream, and I'm going to try crossing on this and using all these little limbs across here to help guide me. And it's also got a little bit more of a deeper bark, giving a little bit more of a treadway. All right, made it across. Wasn't too bad. And now we're gonna sit by Savantine Falls and eat a little snack before we make our return back on the Huckleberry Trail, if we can find it. We still got to bushwhack our way back to that trail, but I think I know which direction we need to go. So the rain has started up again, ever so slightly, and I do gotta figure out a way to get back on track. I've lost service. I had service for most of the hike here, but I've lost service. So I know we gotta get to the top of this hill here, and then when we get up there, I don't know, I'll check all trails. That might still be working. Got to figure this out. So we're now standing at the top of Savantine Falls, and according to my maps, we need to follow upstream here, and that should get us back on the Huckleberry Trail. Beautiful spot here, but the rain's picking up again. Lovely green moss all around the creek here. Excuse me. But we're going to keep moving upstream here. What a wonderful adventure today. Thanks for joining me. I do appreciate you. So I've never really seen something like this before. I'm walking up the bed of the stream, but right off the stream, it drops off on a 20-foot cliff. Very unusual. I don't know if I'm probably supposed to be down there, but I started walking up the stream because it was so beautiful. It's pretty cool back here. It's pretty awesome. So we are continuing along this bushwhack trek along the creek here, and there legitimately is no trail here, so I am just picking and weaving my way. This has actually been my favorite part of the hike so far. It's so unexpectedly beautiful back here. Pretty dark though. It's getting dark again. May start raining heavy soon. hemlocks are starting to get thicker and healthier upstream here now. Wow, this is awesome. So you can see the terrain here now, and I've gotten way off course. I can keep following Savantine Creek and it will eventually run me into Huckleberry, but I have to go through terrain like this. I don't know if it's possible. Somehow I missed a footpath. Walking through a hemlock forest is fine, but now we're almost walking through a wetland, a swamp. Oh God. I'm going to try to stay to the outside of this swamp. Although I see a blue tarp on the ground back here. Whoa! But somebody's been back here. This is a mess now. This is starting to remind me of when me and the Wandering Woodsman were in the Bartlett Balds, bushwhacking through. Oh God. Oh, I gotta stay outside of that swamp. But if I keep working my way around, I gotta get back to something that looks familiar. This has turned out to be so much more of an adventure than what I expected. Oh. All I can do now, because I'm purely just walking through the forest, is follow in the general direction I want to go, taking the path of least resistance. So that's what I'm doing. Gotta stay out of those swamps though. That would be a major mistake going through there. All right, once I realized I was truly out of sorts, I kind of stopped making the video and really focused on what I had to do to get back on trail. So I don't know if you can see, but the terrain here probably looks a little familiar. This is that Huckleberry understory, and we got to go through it. Who knows how many ticks I have on me at this point, probably. But we should be back to the trail. We're climbing uphill and we're getting close. I'm sure it's just a coincidence, but we've made it back to the Huckleberry Trail. And I noticed this rock that looked to me like a trail marker on my way in. And damn it if I didn't come out right to that rock. Is that a coincidence? I don't know. But we made it back to the Huckleberry Trail. Thank you for joining me today for this hike / bushwhack to two beautiful waterfalls here in the Delaware State Forest. I'm Walter Zolna, and this has been another episode of Nature, Adventure, Discovery. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you have any comments or questions, let me know down below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Your support means everything to me. This was a little bit more of an adventure than I expected, but it was pretty awesome. We're making it home safely, and that's the main thing. That's about it, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Gator out. You can see how over time the rocks have been eroded and there's almost like a small waterfall cave behind the falls. And then look at that enormous boulder